Hello, hello. It's Julia Jordan, your favorite real estate agent. I have a lender for you. It is Mr. Logan. And let's give him a second to onboard. And then he will introduce himself. And he saw some of my other videos and he said, Julia, I have a different opinion. And while I like people that agree with me, like all of us, I also like, of course, those people that say, I have something to share what is new for you. I'm always open-minded, at least I try my very best to be, and to learn. So I thought it would be interesting for you to listen to Logan. He's a lender. He has a long financial background. He's coming from insurance. And I think he has a lot to say. He seems to be a nice guy.
There you are.
Okay, can you
Hey,
hear me?
Logan.
Can you see me?
I can see you. Everybody else can see you too. How's it going?
It's going good. Sorry for my camera quality or mic quality. Don't know how that is, but you called me up and said we had to do this, so here
I
I
caught
am.
you off guard. No, you were
Yeah.
actually, hey Deborah, for all the likes. Thank you. Actually, you commented on the other video and I liked it a whole lot that you were on it and that we had nice feedback. So I thought Logan has
hmm
something to say. So what are you thinking about the real estate market, interest rates? Where are we coming from? Where are we going to? Where do you see the next year? Should people buy or not?
hmm So anything I say would be coming from a mortgage broker's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
right? I know Jorge was on this video last, and he was given a real estate perspective. So we as a mortgage professional, we have certain professionals and experts that analyze these markets and work off historic data and things like that to make predictions. And we study multiple avenues of those experts and make our predictions based on that. The predictions made for the next 6 months to a year typically would be made off of historic data over the past couple of years, but the things we've experienced over the past couple of years have been very, very unique.
Right, I
It's a
agree.
global pandemic, so a lot of us are having to play a guessing game, and at the end of the day, we don't have a crystal ball, right? And I think you and I talked about this. We don't know, but we can guess. And judging by what the Fed is doing this year and is going to continue to hike that rate, I don't see us getting some major relief through this year, the way I like to say is accept that we're in a recession. Next year, we will see some relief in interest rates, but like you said in your last live, we're not going to see those 2.5s, those 3s right away. We'll just get some relief out of this 7s range, right? And that doesn't mean that it's a bad time to buy right now. Like you said before, the buyer's in the driver's seat. It's best to buy when you have some control, right? We hear the
Right?
term marry the house, date the rate, right? So
Yes.
a good loan officer is going to prep the mortgage you're using to buy your home now, right? This is not your forever loan. We're setting you up for success to prepare to change with the market, right? We're thinking about loans 2, 3, right, down the road, so that you can take advantage of where the market's at, 6
Right.
months to a year from now.
Yeah. So you do see homes will appreciate, so the value will go up like it was. You look at the last 50 years, we had a little dip for 2008, it went up. And if you look at the curves over the decades, it is basically as if 2008, the crisis never happened. Where do you see the next years? Do you feel people that buy right now that they will appreciate, or do you think prices will fall?
So I think the speed of appreciation will go down.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that we'll still see appreciation based on data. But again, that's one of the situations where there is unknown.
Okay, good.
And another thing I wanted to mention is as a broker, I work with products, and can offer things that like a 2-1 buy down or different products that will allow you to buy right now, give you the power to make your purchase, but to avoid some of the pain points of a market like this.
Mm-hmm.
2-1 buy down being something where you can qualify to purchase right now, but you're dealing with a 2% less interest rate for the first year and on and on
Okay.
so forth. So
So it's a temporary buy down, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And how do people get it?
How do people get it? By talking to me. Obviously, they have to be eligible for the program, etc.
Uh-huh.
And a awesome way to do that right now is having the seller pay for it
Okay.
through seller concessions. So it makes it a pretty advantageous product to use in a time like this.
Right. So we're basically asking for seller contribution. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So in a market where you're in the buyer's seat, or you're in the driver's seat, the buyer's in the driver's seat, and we're seeing a lot more concessions being used. What are those concessions being used for, right?
Right.
And how are they improving your buying power today?
Yeah.
Is really the question.
Yeah. Yep, and that's where a good real estate agent comes back in the game, and that's why all the vendors need to work together well. So it's always good to go by referral. When me as the agent refers a certain lender or a certain vendor, inspector, lender, title company, it is usually for the only reason that we know these people simply do their job the best they can, and they
Right.
get all of us safely to the closing table. I wish there would be a kickback. I wish it would be food. I wish people would deliver me creme brulee to my doorstep. It's an insider joke. Jorge and I had an insider joke. We had a business dinner, and the guy promised me to give me referrals, and he would actually send me creme brulee to my doorstep, and he never did. So that title company might.
You're calling him out on the live too.
I do. He knows. So this guy, I don't know if I will ever see that title company from the inside. Okay, just kidding. I wish I would get a kickback. My only kickback is to do business successful and to do it in the best interest for my clients and get everybody safely to the closing table. Because if we don't get them safely to the closing table, what we are starting to do is burning through their cash. And while some of our clients have a whole lot of cash, first of all, that is not a reason to burn through it, but it's not as devastating as to those that have saved 10K, 15K, 20K to finally be able to purchase. They already missed out on the last 2 years of the market. They were not able to buy. Now, all of a sudden, the sellers are talking to FHA buyers and to all those with the skinny pockets. They are talking to those again. And then comes an unexperienced agent that doesn't know how to maneuver this market. And they fall out of contract and the earnest money is gone. And in this market, if $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 is simply gone and you already paid for inspection and option and all of those little fees, they might need another whole year to save up. And that is just devastating. So that's why it is so important to find your real estate agent that you trust, where you feel they do good business for you. They have your best interest at heart. They don't only think of their own pocket. Of course, this is our business. Of course, at the end of the day, we will get paid, but we are only getting paid when you are successful. So fiduciary duty is super, super important on the lender side, on the agent side, and all the other vendors involved. So that's why I'm interviewing all these different peeps. And if you like Logan, I will tag him in the post, and you can reach out to Logan to just chat real estate. None of us will nail you down and say, will force you with a gun to your head, you need to buy a house. I wish I could do it. If I could do it, I probably would do it. But Keller Williams is really not open-minded regarding that. So we always come from contribution. We try to help you, educate you. And if you have any questions, we are here to help. And if a year from now or 3 years from now, you guys are ready or willing to buy or sell, whichever direction, hopefully it is us that you reach out to, because you feel we come from the right angle. You understand how we talk. A lot of people say, oh, finally, when you explain it, I get it. So that's why I bring people like Logan on to just explain how things are working and how the market is changing. For example, with the buy down points, people don't even know about, the public doesn't know about that. This is something very common that we do right now. Anything else you want to say, Logan?
I wanted to add that you talked about the benefits of an experienced agent in this market and how important it can be to you actually getting the keys to your home. You say, oh, the closing. Like, do you want to spend money and time over the next 30, and with a deal that may go south maybe longer than 30 days, and have somebody not get you to the closing table. So picking who you work with is super important. And also an experienced agent is going to not just refer, like you mentioned, other vendors, right? We have title, we have mortgage, we have, homeowners insurance, and all these people that are involved in a transaction and you buying your home. It's important that those referrals aren't based on you just liking the person, but that there's excellent communication throughout the entire process. that we're all familiar with each other's process. It's synergized very well to get the job done and well, right?
I agree with you. And let's say, Logan, your sister holds a real estate agent license and you feel obligated to work with your sister, but you're not quite sure how good your sister is. You would know because you're a lender. But let's say you're just the public and you don't know. And you simply say, look, I will talk to my sister, but let me talk to 1 or 2 or 3 other agents as well, simply to see what is out there. Because sometimes what I see, people do not even know how poorly they would be represented. And while you want to do your family or your friend a favor, let's say you like your sister a lot, probably you would not just give her $20,000 next week because you like her so much. But if she would be selling your house for you, and she would, without you knowing, and that's the good and the worst part about it, you would never know how much you lost. She would sell your house, she would give it to the first agent. You have hiccups during the transaction, they are asking for seller contribution. So you are selling your house, and all of a sudden $20,000-$40,000 is leaving your pocket or will never arrive in your pocket because she did not handle the transaction professionally. How about you love your sister and you simply give her for Christmas a check for $10,000, but when it comes to selling your house, you sell your house with an expert. So you love your sister, but you still get top dollar for your high value asset because a house is simply too valuable. You would not sell your car or something else, and usually the house is way more expensive than most people's cars. You would not sell it to anyone or with anyone. You would really try to go to the expert. So what I would put on people's heart is to simply interview with a different agent to be represented well. And if the sister is a rock star, awesome. Talking to 2-3 other rock stars, it will just confirm the sister is fantastic. Go with the sister, you know, but make sure, because it's just too expensive. And when you fall out of contract, your house is stigmatized and you start the whole wash from the beginning. So that's what I would like to say about, oh, I know a friend of a friend and she liked that agent. When did she like that agent? The market completely turned day to night, night to day, the last 4 months, 6 months, completely different. Oh, that agent sold your house a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. It's a completely different market. Make sure that this agent knows this market. Okay, that was my 2 cents. Anything else to say, Logan, or you think we got it?
I think that wraps it up, at least for this go around. I appreciate the opportunity to jump on the live with you and share our thoughts about the market and in what's to come.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Julia. Logan. Thank you for being so spontaneous and taking the time out of your day. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good